The speed world has always been dangerous, but one threshold was considered the most dangerous that mankind has ever attempted, and it was pursued by a man whose name has become synonymous with speed.
Chuck Yeager in the world of speed is someone you want to look up to because he's able to do the impossible.
And as far as I'm concerned, Chuck Yeager is the ultimate badass.
When the U.S. entered World War II in 1941, Chuck Yeager was only 6 months out of high school, but by 1943, he had earned his pilot wings and was flying combat missions in Europe. His heroism included making ace in a day when he downed 5 enemy aircraft in a single encounter. Yeager's flying skills continued earning him attention after the war was over. He flew in air shows and participated in service trials at Muroc Army Airfield, later known as Edwards Air Force Base. During this time, the U.S. Air Force had taken aim at a top-secret goal, seeing if man could survive breaking the sound barrier.
By 1947, we still did not know what was on the other side of that barrier.
People thought an airplane would get torn apart. They thought it would explode. They thought there was no way that you could send a vehicle faster than the speed of sound.
It was very important to this country to figure it out. That puts us in the lead in the world.
The military teamed up with NASA's Langley Research Facility to design an aircraft for this task, the Bell XS-1.
The XS-1, Experimental Supersonic 1, was built for one purpose and one purpose only, to fly through the sound barrier. It was designed after a .50 caliber bullet because we knew 50s would go through the sound barrier. It was very simple, very rudimentary, but it worked very well.
The plane had one notable shortcoming, however.
The X-1 did not have an escape system built into it, and there was no way out of that X-plane, no way safely.
The XS-1 was propelled by a 4-chamber rocket engine called the XLR-11. In order to conserve fuel, it didn't take off from the ground, but was dropped from the belly of a B-29 Superfortress mid-flight. The plane had approached the sound barrier on test flights, but had yet to make the final jump, leaving critical questions about whether the pilot would survive.
Of course, they tested and tested, but now go up there and take it up to about, 700 miles an hour and do it.
On October 14, 1947, Yeager, the XS-1, and a stashed away broom handle were taken to the B-29 mothership and lifted into the sky over Rogers Dry Lake in Southern California's Mojave Desert. At an altitude of 25,000 feet, the B-29 released Yeager for his shot at history.
The pilot dropped the aircraft. He nosed the bomber and the X-plane over, started to gain some speed for him, and then dropped him out.
The release mechanism is tripped, and Uncle Sam's ace in the sky drops clear.
He started lighting off all 4 chambers of the XLR-11, and he's guiding it to where it's supposed to go, trying to guide it up into higher, thinner air.
Yeager quickly rocketed up to 40,000 feet, aiming to hit 662 miles per hour, the speed of sound at that altitude. As his craft accelerated, it compressed the sound waves ahead of it, building up pressure until it broke through, creating a sonic boom that proved everyone's fears were for nothing.
Yeager slipped through Mach 1 and barely noticed it. He lands out on the lake bed. A Jeep goes out there and hooks up to him and starts pulling him back to the ramp where everybody is. And it's kind of funny because he's out there kind of like waving and doing this. You can tell he's happy as hell. He lived.
I don't believe Chuck Yeager saw the sound barrier as a barrier. I feel he felt it was something that simply had to be overcome through mechanical means. He knew there was an answer.
Chuck Yeager was never a race car driver, but he is a hero and legend among racing drivers, among land speed record drivers. I mean, he's the granddaddy of speed for an entire generation. He was an American hero.